Welcome to A Billion Realities, where we explore all topics related to spirituality, psychology, and the power of the mind. And now your host, Jessica Gerlach.
Rock shows for the love of hip-hop. What up? It's not cause of the pain in my past.
Today on A Billion Realities, we have the CEO of True Aspect Media and contributor at Hip Hop Canada, co-host Kyle McNeil. Hi, Kyle.
Hey, how's it going?
Awesome. Great to have you back on. And today on the show, we are speaking to rapper, writer, singer, and King of the Dot battle rap judge, DaxFlow. Welcome to the show, Dax.
Thank you for having me. What up?
We're happy to have you here. What up? So, where are you joining us from today?
I'm probably in Kyle's backyard. I probably live somewhere close to where he's living. I'm Durham region all day. About 20 minutes east of Toronto,
Okay.
Canada.
Awesome. Amazing. I lived in Canada for 10 years, so I love Canada.
You need to come back.
I do. I do need to come back. I was there last summer, but yeah, it's about that time again. So how long have you been in the rap game?
A really long time, man. I think the first time I did a show would have been 2006. So I got into it at a relatively younger age, and I just kept it going from there.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Dax, what would you say initially drew you into rap music, and when did you realize it was something you wanted to do?
I'll be honest with you, man. I'm like, going through like high school and stuff, never in my life would I thought I'd rap. But when I was in elementary school, I used to always write stuff down. It never really came into anything, so I didn't really, high school ends and all that. I was a choir boy through all of high school. That was my cover-up,
Amazing.
I couldn't really,
I can't imagine you being a choir boy.
Yeah, I was serious about it, man. I was in jazz ensembles. I actually played the trumpet as like my number one thing. When I finished high school, they basically gave me a scholarship, and I was like, I don't want that. So I just kind of moved on from it, And then when I started college, that's when I started rapping.
Wow.
Nice, right on.
That's when I started like taking it a little bit more serious, or whatever you want to call it. So I would have probably been 19 or 20.
So who were your biggest influencers growing up in the music world?
Honestly, other rappers, man. Like when I was growing up, like I have a brother that's 11 years older than me. So, and he was a record collector, right? So this would have been like early LL Cool J's, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, people like that. To be honest with you, like those, just me seeing that. I think the first piece of music I ever had was Ice Cube's group, NWA or whatever. That's probably the first piece of music I had. So I just listened to that over and over again. And I realized like rapping, it couldn't really be that hard, but it's not that easy at the same time. So yeah, it's something that took a long time. Maybe I had to pop a 1-2 smokes or something, get my voice right and all of that. And then, yeah, I just do it now.
That's awesome. So I saw in my research that you also write, and as a writer myself, I'm so interested in hearing about that. So can you tell us about what you write?
Like what I write about?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I started out writing about just stuff true to my life, like things that it could have been like discrimination. It can be like kind of the way people look at you because I'm different. Kyle's seen me in person. You know what I mean? If Kyle didn't know me, he might be scared. to be honest. You know, but yeah, I took a different approach. I wrote about, growing up, having my dad not being like a model dad type character. I wrote a lot about that. I wrote about coming up in metro housing, not really having much. And now, like, fast forward many, many years later, everything's kind of reversed. Like I buy what I want, I do what I want, and I kind of just live now. But yeah, with writing, I just write about coming from nothing and just making things better, or ways to make things better, different things that have happened to me and how I overcame them.
Amazing.
And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of shit I could write about, but at the same time, if it's any form of like incriminating stuff, I don't really, I try not to do that. So I'm really selective in what I write about.
They say you should write about what you know, so you're on the right track with that. I think that's amazing. And I really need you to explain, why are you so scary in person? Explain that.
End of the day, that's the name of my album, by the way. But at the end of the day, I'm a big black dude, and I'm not always nice.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I have my days.
Okay.
Everybody has their own struggles or issues or things that they have problems with, or people they don't even like. And that for me, it just depends on what is done to me throughout the years. Like, you got to trust a lot of people in the music industry, and that makes it a lot more different, because you spend money to make things happen, right? You spend money to make things happen, and a lot of the times when you do that, you're not going to end up getting the product. And that's the part that's a little bit shaky in Canadian music right now. People steal from you and stuff like that, and it's kind of weird.
Ooh,
You figure everybody's on the same kind of wavelength, and everybody's trying to do the same thing, but people steal from you.
Interesting. I definitely want to get into more of that later on too. We have some questions kind of surrounding the scene, in Canada, even in Toronto. But before we get there, I love to get into the psychology behind, what people love. And I was so curious to know, like, what kind of satisfaction do you get from rapping, and how does it make you feel being on stage?
Being on stage, I like being on stage. It just gives me kind of control of the room, even if it's just for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 10 minutes. It depends on the setup of the show and how much people are involved within or whatever. Sometimes you do your own shows. Those will be longer sets, but I like seeing the crowd react. I like when you're performing a show and people actually know your bars. That's tough to get to for a lot of people that are just considered like local. You know what I mean? So I'm one of those people. I don't put myself on any sort of like plateau. I just do it. But yeah, I love being on stage.
That's amazing. So what would you say is the common link amongst talented rappers?
The common link?
Yeah, like what makes them all similar? Because I know that rapping is a very specific type of talent. Like not just anybody can do it. So what do you think is the common link between them?
I think that you have to be a good storyteller.
Okay.
That's what I think, really. And I mean, that doesn't go for every, because remember, there's different types of rap, right? There's people that are making music that's considered commercial, or whatever you want to call it. That joint they just made is going to go on the radio like tomorrow. I'm not that type of rapper, right?
So normally, mainstream.
Yeah, I'm not mainstream, right? Okay. But I mean, at the same time, I could have done that. I had the opportunity to do that, but I never felt right doing the mainstream stuff. Right. Even on the local scene down here, when you speak to rappers, you know, I talked to like Peter Jackson, for example, and he's done a lot of big things for Canada music, shit like that. And I can't do what he does. You know what I mean? So instead of hating on the guy, I respect it because I know that he's making some sort of bread, and that's everybody's goal. You know what I mean?
He's a guy that's more focused on the business aspect of it.
And all I hear is people hate on him, and that's fine. You know what I mean? I don't really care. You know what I mean? I hope that he blows up to like I don't know. I hope he gets signed to Rock Nation or something if he ain't already. You know what I mean? Like, I want him to do something where he's getting like major U.S. money. You know what I mean? Not like a one tour international. I want him to do things like that because that's what everybody wants to do. You know what I mean? So
it'd be great for our scene, like the Durham region, right? If we had a big rapper like that to come out of the area, it would help a lot of people out in our area.
Yeah, but keep in mind, like Boy Wonders from Ajax.
Yeah, I know. I went to high school with him. I wasn't really friends with him, but I know who he was.
I met him like shortly after he finished high school, way back. Like there was like it's just so easy to run into people. Like I ran into people everywhere, and it's just random because I talk to everybody, right? So yeah, I'm just proud of people that found a way out of their city to like a really big bag, So that's just the way to go.
Yeah, man, you got to really have a drive to do that and have a special personality to really go for it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
We were just talking about adversities, and are there any adversities that of note for you that you had to overcome as a rapper or even as a person?
As a person, I think the biggest adversity I ever had to overcome, well, there's a whole bunch of them, but I don't have to get into the details, but I came from Scarborough and I moved to Whitby. Worst day of my life. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like I went from being in a classroom where everybody's, say, Asian, brown, and white people, honestly, they were like the minority. I guess that would be the proper term. Mm-hmm. There was a little amount of white people when I lived in Scarborough in those times, but I was a kid. You know what I mean? So anyways, I moved to Whitby, not knowing anything about the city. With my mom, of course, I was super young. And it changed everything, man, because everybody was either calling me – because, okay, there's two things to know about me. I'm a big dude. So they're calling me either fat, black, N-word, this, that, and the third, or whatever. That was my biggest adversity, is not fucking someone up every day. You know what I mean? And I did anyway. So it's just like some people had to get it. But, I mean, I grew out of that. I don't really fight and all that stuff no more. I'm not even about that. But it was tough going from being with people that look similar to you to being like the only black person in the class.
Do you feel that you can draw any benefit from those hard times that you went through? Like, do you feel like you're a stronger person because of that?
I feel like I handle things a lot better now. Now that I know that, reacting in a certain way, let's say it's with violence or whatever, at the end of the day, if you're in jail, you can't do nothing. So having my freedom is more important than anything.
Absolutely.
And I used to face off with skinheads, the police, whatever. Like, police would look at me and say things like, I bet you have a pretty extensive criminal record and things of that nature, just because of the way I spoke to them. But at the end of the day, it's because I was black. In my opinion, my humble opinion.
That's your experience. So you're speaking from your perspective and your experience. So yeah, it's understandable.
Yeah, there's a number of ways that police can profile people, and that's just a few of the ways that unfortunately police do things, and it's really unfair. And a lot of the stuff that's going on right now and on the media is because of that. So
yeah, I stay away from the media. I try not to even, like, if you watch my Facebook, you're not even gonna see me post anything. I don't post the black screen. I don't post none of that stuff because none of that, I think none of that's going to really help. The only thing that's going to help, well, there's so much things that have to be done anyways, but the first thing is black people need to stop killing each other. That would probably make it, the police think it's not all right to just do that shit. You know what I mean? If we stop the black on black, then maybe, like, we got to love each other, black people. Because, like, sometimes people are just walking around mad for no reason. You know what I mean? Right. So, like, when I get into a situation where, Kyle, you don't know me that well, but I'll fuck somebody up if I need to. I try not to keep that mindset because it's bad and you can end up in jail. And at the end of the day, nobody wants that. You want to be able to go check your women, do this, that, and the third, do your shows, and just be free. So I don't do none of that. I don't play with anything that's gonna land me behind bars. I don't even drink and drive anymore. You know what I mean? Like I don't do none of that stuff. So it's like I changed it up a little bit.
Thank God.
Well,
for the drinking and driving especially.
Yeah, it's not proud of that.
Well, right. But, we all evolve and we learn from our experiences. So, you're growing and you're evolving. So that's great.
Yeah. Of course.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. So moving along, probably something that you're most famous for is probably being a judge in the battle arena. So
Yeah.
how did you initially start judging battles for King of the Dot, and how long have you been doing it for?
King of the Dot originally started at about 2007 or 2008. But previous to that, there was Rap Olympics, and there was other, Proud to be a Battle MC events and littler events before. And the CEO will say, or the friggin' owner, part 1/3 owner, whatever you want to call it, of King of the Dot, his name's Organic. He's the one that judges the majority of the battles. I knew him before King of the Dot even started. And everybody always said, how did he call you? Why did he pick you? I said, I have no idea. But I judged him battling in previous leagues before King of the Dot started. That's one of the reasons why he picked me up as this dude, he's a solid dude or whatever. He's funny. And his music is pretty tight. Organic is always yo, your bars are serious. Yo, your music is nice. And I'm like, that's good. I'm glad to hear it from someone that, for real, is a true celebrity. You know what I mean? We just have a lot of shit to get over with everything going on in the world right now. But it's a big business. You know what I mean? And I'm super proud of those dudes for, making it work, man, and dealing with a bunch of different egos and just people. It's tough.
Yeah, I saw our first Organic battle in 2007, probably around the beginning. And when I saw him battle, I knew he had a special ability to do that. And that was before the written battle started. It was all freestyle back then.
Yeah, he was definitely a freestyler. It's
He's
funny.
probably one of the best freestylers to ever come out of Toronto, I would say.
He's good, man. And there was another dude. I can't even remember this dude's name because he disappeared. When King of the Dot started, this dude disappeared. But it was some next white dude. I forget his name. Long hair, skinny, scraggly dude.
Is it Prolific?
Yeah.
Prolific?
I think it was him. He could have been something too, but he just kind of fell off the radar. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he just makes music. I have no idea. But yeah.
Do you know what he's doing, Kyle? Mm-hmm.
He just does songs. I know. I actually saw him pop up in a few battles as being a judge, but I don't think he's really done anything significant since probably when he was on the WRC with Aspire. I remember he partnered up with Aspire in 2007.
And Aspire made his way into King of the Dot too. He was in there for a little bit.
Yeah.
He battled SoulCon and shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. You probably judged that one, I bet.
That was a funny battle, man, because he put on the glasses and he acted like he was SoulCon, and he did the SoulCon imitation in that battle. But yeah, there was some funny times, man.
Yeah, I remember since the inception of King of the Dot in 2008. I think battling has evolved quite a bit since then. What do you think the biggest difference is since 2008?
I think the support
up to now.
The support, it changed. The fact that we get venues now, always. When it first started, it was just between 1-2 buildings downtown. You know what I mean? Just somewhere in an alleyway or something like that, at a park, weird places we were doing battles. And 9 times out of 10, they get broken up by the po-po. You know what I mean? But just getting the funds together to get venues and doing all that is completely different now. And now it's good because battle rappers can get checks. You know what I'm saying? Battle rappers, they can get paid. Everyone has their fee. They get paid, and it's good. I love to see anybody getting money. And like I said, I don't care how you get it, just get it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you think it's still important to be able to freestyle rather than memorizing pre-written lines in battling?
I think it's important to just be able to rap. I don't care if you can freestyle off the top or if you can just recite your bars that you know, because some rappers can't do either. They can write a song, and then a year later, they don't even know the lyrics to the song. Because
Wow,
sometimes their songs are so stupid that there's no point in even remembering what you said, because it's just like, it's weird, man. Like you'll notice it when you see a rapper get on the radio or something like that. Who knows? It could be friggin' Hot 97 or whatever, Shade 4-5 even, and they're put on the spot like rap. Okay, so rap. They're given 4 or 5 beats, 6 beats, and that's where a lot of people get exposed because. They just make a song. It might even be a song that gets crazy views and a lot of hits, but at the end of the day, they still can't rap. They can only rap inside of the studio. And rappers like that, I have no problem with, as long as they don't claim to be, God's gift and some big time freestyler and stuff like that. Because I can tell with freestyles, I can really tell.
Interesting.
Could you draw any parallels or any similarities with battle rap compared to any other professional sports or TV shows?
I think battle rap is kind of like the UFC in a way.
I was gonna say professional wrestling, but sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like the UFC in a sense, because honestly, you just never know what to expect when you walk into these venues, right? Plus, we're drinking and getting fucked up and all that, so you never really know what you're gonna come across, right? So I had to stop bringing my women down to those events. No, because sometimes it's just not it's not for everybody. Even though I think it's for everybody, I don't know. That might be a little bit skewed because I've been there since the beginning, right? But it's just not for everybody.
How about in the sense of competition? Like UFC is a one-on-one competition. And the success of the league really relies on having big name battlers. The success of the league really relies on that.
Yeah.
On the competitor, I would say.
Yeah, and I think that some of the biggest names that we have are in Canada, bar none. Like that's just my opinion. You have Sharon. He's on Wilding Out, so he's on whatever, I guess it's MTV or whatever, Nick Cannon show, basically rapping, freestyling, joking around, whatever he does, right? He's actually one of the world's best freestylers at this point right now. And then you have Pat Stay. Those two dudes and what they do even outside of their battles, like, interviewing other, famous artists and stuff like that. You can see Pat Stay on his live with like Crooked Eye or Royce the 5'9", Blind Fury, people like that. Like he's had a lot of, this show's disgusting, man. Anyways, yeah, 90 Day Fiance. I don't even know why it's on the TV. But yeah, Pat Stay. Pat Stay's my guy. Sharon from around the way. I've judged a lot of their battles. And there's just mad other different talents in Toronto. Even the former King of the Dot champion Arcane. I did a show with Arcane, like maybe a little bit less than a year ago. And that's how he has bars, man. He has bars. Like on a record, he's good too. So I don't know what's going on if he's coming back to battle again. It's probably been like a good maybe 6 months, 7 months since he had a battle. But yeah, his music's incredible too.
Kid Twist, Holohan.
Right, Holohan.
Paul
No
Rich.
idea what's happening with him. Kid Twist, he's probably writing a book or something. Like he does weird stuff. Paul Rich, Whippy of the City. No, I never see him in Whippy ever in my life.
I think he moved to Ottawa.
Probably did, because he was the last time he was doing it. It was in an Ottawa league, right? So, just I don't know. I hope. He had a battle not too long ago, actually, man. But that dude was good. Paul Rich is good, and he was the champion too, right? So
he was.
Yeah. A lot of people think that like battles are whatever rigged or whatever they think. They think that judges are paid.
Really?
But no, we never got a dime.
I didn't even know that.
It's not like we ever got money from that. The only thing we had that benefited us was because everybody that judges for the most part was either an artist or a producer or a videographer or whatever. If there was anything that you had to sell, we had no problem bringing it into the events and selling it. You know what I mean? So that always helped us in a sense too.
And you're getting exposure, right, to the right people in your industry. So yeah.
Always. I mean, the battle rap industry is a different type of exposure. But at the end of the day, like, for example, Drake is like a big supporter of King of the Dot. He's come through, dropped some money, this, that, and the third, and he's been at the events chilling. You know what I mean? Sometimes not even with security, just relaxing, regular day. You know, and for Drake to walk up to someone like me, and for the most part, anyone that knows me knows I stick to myself. I haven't hung out with nobody since March 14th. You know what I mean? So I'm going a little bit crazy because, you know, I'm a people person. But yeah, like, so for example, Drake comes through King of the Dot, and he's like, "Yo, Dax, what up? Are you good?" For him to even address me by my name, I'm just thinking in my head, like, King of the Dot. At that point, I was like, King of the Dot's fucking big. It has to be. Because if you're just like calling me up by my name just by seeing videos that I judged after the battles or before battles or whatever, just me standing in the background of a battle, to me, those type of things are huge to me. Like, but it's actually surprising. I can't believe he's with this old bitch. Wow. But yeah, man. It's crazy.
Well, so brings me actually to another question. And do you think that battle rap's gotten too big in mainstream?
Not really.
Okay.
But I think that there's a lot of opportunities that have happened where it would have just been better if the big artist, whoever the big artist is, came with his bars, right? It would have went even better because they would have, you know, it would have led to, like, for example, right now, Cassidy's battling, right?
Okay.
From back in the day, Cassidy. I'm a hustler dude or whatever, but he's had some good battles and he's had some really bad battles, and I'll just leave it at that, right? So it's like it's hard to be consistent.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when we only have, you know, 4 battles to judge you off of, and these battles weren't even technically judged battles. It's just more so when it pops on YouTube or when it goes live on YouTube or whatever, you just friggin' everyone gives their opinion. That's pretty much how a lot of battles are judged now. Aside from, like, you know, the ground zero ones and for the really kind of newer up and coming battlers, those battles are still judged, right? But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's just crazy.
Interesting. So I just want to take a quick break so we can hear this song, I'm Tired, and then we'll have a chat about it afterwards.
Sure.
Awesome.
No pops, living kind of ghetto, but I always got the love. Jotting late night scripts with a bottle of the bub, but basically getting used to the haterine. Outside looking in, whack life chasing me. Say that I say it a lot, the word. They think that I'm running the block and blast. But minimal sleep, bringing flames when I hit the streets. What you know about the struggle? What you know about the feet? What you know about the just selling days? That was back in the day. They wonder what happened to me. I'm tired, y'all.
So, Dax, can you tell us a little about the inspiration behind that song?
I think it's from, well, I know it's from just being on the grind every day. Sometimes you grind and you don't even really see any reward. Like, you know, you work and you say you work in a job. You work every possible minute of overtime you can. And then at the end of the day, when you see your check, you're looking at it like, damn, that's it? How is that even possible? So, or you do your taxes and you're like, and the government like, yo, you owe money. You're like, how's that possible? So I
just
tired.
experienced that.
Yeah, me too. I got my little bill right here. But anyways, like, I'm tired was just like, it was just, we came up with the beat in the Stay Cool Studios. And honestly, it was a beat that we held on to for years because, you know, it was heavily voice sampled. It was kind of just a loop off of a song that was already out by, I believe the artist's name is Charles Bradley, right? And that is a soul song. So we took a long time to put that song out, mainly because of copyright issues and stuff like that. Like, we maybe weren't even going to put it out, but we definitely put it together and we had it for a while. But yeah, it's just like, I'm tired. Sometimes you're just sick of having to wake up every day and do something. Now, with the pandemic and all that shit, I'm tired of everybody saying, or this is what I think is going to happen. The city's going to open back up the 1st of July. blah, 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 blah. Everything that's said about the pandemic thing can even relate back to that song, because I'm just tired of everything. I'm tired of everything. I'm tired of Snapchat filters or whatever you want to call it. So it doesn't make a difference. I'm just tired of everything, right? Yeah. So
All right.
Yeah, the beat sounds very soulful and retro.
Took me a long time, and I had to get DVA to agree to let me use that beat, because that beat could have went to anybody. You know what I mean? Like, what if Pat Poose wanted that beat? You think he's gonna be like, here, no, Dax has that beat already? No, he doesn't work like that, right? You know, if they could get some money, I'd rather see them get the money. You know what I'm saying?
For
How did the
sure.
idea for a cartoon music video come about for that song?
Well, that wasn't the original idea. I actually already paid to do an I'm Tired video, but now that we're not really doing social gatherings, I was like, yo, I got to put something out. So I'm like, fuck it. How can I get a video done and not actually see anybody? Right?
That's a good idea.
I was like, yeah. So the cartoon thing came back, right? So I checked some people. I did a little bit of research. I found this dude. He told me his price. I told him my price, and we made it work. Right? So.
Right on. Moving back to battling, I wanted to ask you, do you think it was a mistake for King of the Dot to try to move to a stage-based format like URL versus the original pit-style battle format?
I don't think it was a mistake at all. I think that pit style is cool, but on the stage you can see things better. I actually like the pit style over anything, because that just gives me, it's a way more genuine feeling. It's less like a theatrical performance show thing. I prefer the pit style, but I don't think King of the Dot really made any mistakes in my eyes, right? Now on paper they're probably looking at the thing like, damn, we lost a lot of money here, lost a lot of money there, but I mean that's for them to figure out, right? I'm just an outside cat, and I rep that King of the Dot stuff to the death. Even on my Instagram, like a lot of my posts is about battle, right? A lot of people message me like, yo, can you get me into King of the Dot? I'm like, yo, you gotta practice, man. You gotta do something. You can't just ask a man that you see on the street like, how can I get into this? That's not how life works, man.
Yeah, that's true.
People ask me that every day, and I'm just like, yo, are you crazy? You know the type of work that goes into it. I don't think people understand that, but
You're like, there's a process. There's a process involved.
There is a process. People always even people ask me for tracks and all that. That's another topic for another day, I guess. But when people ask me for features, honestly, even if they offer me money, I ask them to send me their music. If it's terrible, I'll say absolutely fucking not, and I keep it moving. I'd rather put out something that's good that I can go back and listen to at least. I don't give a fuck what someone's offering me. I will not take their money if I don't think they're good.
That's smart.
And if I thought they were good, I wouldn't take their money anyways. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not about, I don't give a fuck. I make fucking good money, just doing a regular ass job. So I'm good. I don't need to friggin', it'd be nice to get money off of music and shit like that. And that's fine. My main thing is merch and all that. Like, I just do like little accessories and stuff like that. And those work out way better for me. Obviously the typical things, t-shirts and all that. But when someone gets their project together and the first thing in their head is like, I got to go duplicate CDs, you got to think to yourself, like, who the fuck still listens to CDs? Nobody. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Everybody's like, yo, I want a copy of your CD. I'm like, I don't have any.
Yeah.
But I can do. But you could go on, Spotify, YouTube, wherever, and then that's fine. If you want a copy of my CDs, you can go to DaxFlow.com and just download them, because honestly, I don't even really have a CD player.
I think that's hilarious that people are asking for CDs. Like, that's shocking to me.
I'm not someone like, I'm not driving a Maserati or no shit like that, but when I realized it, when I woke up one day and I'm like, yo, I'm going to go buy a new car, I told my brother, and my brother fucking laughed at me. He's like, why? He's like, you already have a car. Why would you go buy a new one? So fuck it. 2 days later, I get my car, right? brand new. I think it was in 2018, and there ain't no damn CD player in it, right? And that let me know that was one of the main things. Like, mainly right now, everybody's driving. So if there ain't CD players in the cars you're buying, not everybody has a car, I guess, 2018 or newer. But I think it will probably start around 2016 where they stop putting CD players in cars. So it's like...
I have a 2017 and doesn't have one either.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you, yeah. So it's like, how you supposed to... What's the easiest way to put your music out? Well, how about a free download? Or how about a whatever? I was thinking of different ways to put music out, but I mean, at the end of the day, just throw it on a friggin' streaming service. If it gets some hits, it gets hits, and that's life. You probably realistically, for the average artist, and even for me, who has some level of popularity, I just don't get a lot of views. I'm the first to admit that. If you ever see me put out a video and it has 100,000 views in a day or a week, then you know I bought them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know I bought those views. So you're never going to see that on YouTube. You're never going to see me put out a video, gets 100K, smooth, easy, because there's some artists right now, they're just buying those views. And that's fine. I have no problem. If that makes you feel better about yourself, to have a big amount of views, you're buying views and comments, that's cool. But at the end of the day, that's just not me.
And there's always a way to tell, right, if they're legit or if they're
organic,
they're purchased.
I could tell right off the bat.
But yeah, that's the way some people do things, and
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But when you look at their past bodies of work, why do you have like 5,000% less views?
Yeah, man, like being successful requires grinding, and it takes a lot of work. You just can't expect to be sitting behind your computer and be a star overnight, which is what a lot of people want, right? So
I didn't use a computer at home for like 6 years. I wasn't using a computer when I'm at home. But now they fucking force me to work from home, so it's like, okay. You know what I mean? I guess I got to now. I can't fuck around with my own money like that, so yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, so getting back to battling, why is it, do you think, so many big mainstream rappers got involved with battle rap in the early 2010s?
Do you mean like when Beanie Siegel went against Jadakiss and people like that?
Yeah, and remember how Joe Budden started battling and Cannabis?
Yeah, Cannabis 2009, that was one of the worst battles, but not bad for Disaster, because he just like
killed him.
Shat on him, I guess, if that's even a word. But I don't know, man. I think that battling is something that, say, an artist was making his music for like the past 5, 6 years, 10 years, and he's made millions. He made a few million, whatever, 4 million, 5 million. Who the hell knows? Someone like Jadakiss, I could see him entering the league for a battle or two. Someone like I don't know, Saigon or somebody. Like, there's a lot of mainstream artists or artists that are just out doing music, period, whether they're mainstream or not. You could easily see them battling, right? But those type of artists, those guys are better on records. Same with Cassidy. Cassidy's way better on a record than he's ever going to be in the ring, right? In my opinion. So it just makes it it's a good look, but how long can they keep it up for? Are they going to have fucking 3 battles a year? Probably not.
A lot of people are just doing it for the money because there is more money in battle rap now. So
there's money everywhere, man. But I think there's more money in actually doing music. It just depends on what type of music you're doing, right? Like for a guy like Cannabis, I'm not going to discuss any of the friggin' financial shit, but he got a good check to fuck up, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, here's your check, and then he just dove. Like, I don't know what the hell he was doing, right? And the funny thing about
his rhyme book.
Yeah, he hasn't even I haven't heard no music from him. Like, maybe there is, obviously, but there's like a zillion artists in the world, but yeah, I don't know, man. That probably took a toll on that guy emotionally. I'm not sure, because he battled LL. LL's like some people's GOAT, you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
LL has a long, extensive career. Like now, I don't know about like all the Black Lives Matter freestyle thing. I'm not into none of that. But I mean, it is what it is, right?
How was Jadakiss?
How is it? How is he?
How was he in battle rapping?
Well, Jada battled on record. Like Jada went back and forth with, I know, Beanie Siegel
Mm-hmm.
and a couple other people. Like he used to battle people all the time. And I think that Jada, the way he sounds, and he has the potential to be really good at it if he wanted to. But at the end of the day, why would he? Jada's been out since 95.
I met him 20 years ago.
That's what I'm trying to think to you.
Yeah, I met him in New York. I mean, he was always out at the hot spots. I used to promote at some of the clubs with my godfather, and yeah, he was always out. He's really cool too. So I was just curious, about his battle rap history. That's why I was asking you that.
Yeah, I don't think that there's a lot in it for him. I think that he could probably go knock on Diddy's door.
Yeah.
If he really needed a fucking check.
Of course.
And Diddy would just be like, yeah, write these fucking 2-3 albums for me.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's it. He's paid. Jada's paid. He's got to be worth, it doesn't make a difference, but he's paid. He has money.
Yeah, I don't think he should ever really.
Why would he come into a battle league? Yeah, why would he come into URL or King of the Dot or whatever league and potentially fuck up?
Yeah, it's kind of late in the game for his career.
People look down look down on you when you fuck up, right? But he did just drop an album not too long ago. It was pretty fire, man. It was pretty fire. Yeah.
So at this point, do you think battle rap has already hit its peak of popularity? And where do you see it going in the next 10 to 15 years?
It can go a lot of places, man. I honestly, at one point, thought that the way things were going with the league, it was going to end up on like, some TV station or something like that. With like AUX TV or whatever. I don't think they have that anymore, but I'm saying there was some TV stations that were playing things like that, right? And I could have saw that happening, with the proper edits and all that. Obviously, every battle that you see on video 9 times out of 10 is edited, right? This guy's really proposing to the girl. Oh my God, this fucking idiot. But yeah, I'm gonna say, there's so much things that can happen, but when things like that are happening in the world right now, such as COVID and things of that nature, it puts a hold on everything.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of events have been canceled. We just can't have those public gatherings because it's just gonna.
Yeah, I think it's a little tougher for you guys in Canada still too. Like things are opening back up in the States, but I know in Canada it's still pretty restricted, right? So it looks like it's going to take a little bit longer up there.
Yeah, you should still be careful in the U.S. Trump doesn't give a fuck about you, right?
Yeah, we know that. So what is your
big? He don't care about anything. Like he's crazy.
He's a whole other story for sure. What's the biggest battle that you've ever judged?
I'd probably say DNA versus Disaster. That was a pretty big one. That's the same day. That was co-hosted by Drake.
Yeah, Drake was at that one.
Yeah, and like I'm saying, like I seen him backstage and shit like that, and he didn't try to act like he's Hollywood. Obviously, you know how much money the guy's worth, but he still fucking addressed me by name. You know what I mean? And so that was probably one of the bigger days. That was at I believe that battle happened at Club XS on Richmond Street, right downtown, because we were doing events over there for a while. You know what I mean? Because they're just like, yeah, that guy just kind of came to an end for whatever reason, right? So, that battle stands out in my head because that battle was mad heated. Another one that I witnessed, I can't remember if I judged it. It was Past Day versus Hollowhand. Old time friends.
I was at that event. World Domination 1.
Yeah, man, I was there too. See, but I didn't know you then. You know what I mean?
No.
You were there, your little camera strapped around your neck or something. But yeah, man. Yeah, I didn't really know you. And the thing is, man, I got to meet somebody like 5 times to even say I know them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I forget people easy. Like I talk to so much people in a regular day. My job is talking to people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's
Of
like,
course.
I just talk to a lot of motherfuckers, and sometimes people get mad when you don't remember them, right? But yeah, there's been a lot of battles that happen. There's even battles that happen where they got judged in the venue, and then they didn't agree. They wanted the judging decision to be overturned. So then they'll contact, whoever. They contact like me. Who else did they contact? They contacted Hollow of Dawn and shit like that. And they just say, yo, we need you guys to judge this battle. Watch it and then send in a video response. And this is like how it used to go. Because there's a lot of the times when you're judging battles and shit, and you might just be fucked up. You might be. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we went away from the whole judge battles and stuff for a long time, right? Because people started to feel some type of way about a lot of that shit. And then some people didn't even want their battles to be judged. They're just like, let the fans decide.
Oh.
But they felt like it was like, when you reach these events over and over again, it's hard not to establish any sort of friendship with people, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like going to work. Everyone's going to say, you're like your little 9-to-5 thing, that you ain't got no friends there and they're just your coworkers. But at the end of the day, some of them actually are your friends, as soon as you open your eyes and realize it, man.
True that. Yeah.
Let one of them get fucking shot in the back and see how you feel.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite battle that you've judged and why?
I would say Pat Stay versus HFK. It's a weird choice to really say that. It was just funny. It was just a funny battle.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a funny battle. I remember that one.
It's really from back in the day. Don't get me wrong. It's really lighthearted. You can see, these guys are going at each other's throats. But at the end of the day, you could still see the love in the room, and you could see that it wasn't going to be a fight or nothing like that. It was just kind of like, and you didn't expect HFK to do so good against like Pat Stay's he's a fucking goat. But HFK definitely held his own and did his thing. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
That one I'm pretty sure I judged, but I'd have to go back on YouTube and double check that because I don't even remember. But that one was, that was definitely one of my battles I go back to and watch all the time because I just found it funny.
I love them when they're funny. So that's awesome. And so who are some of your favorite all-time battle rappers?
Favorites? I would have to say one of them at that the answer to that question can change as time goes on. But I used to like Party Yardy. Party Yardy's a dude. He's passed away. Rest in peace and all that. I like Arsenal too. Arsenal the Rebel. Mm-hmm. I like DNA. Haven't seen him battle recently. Not sure what's going on. I like Charlie Clips. Sharon always does his thing. I think his last battle was against Roan. I like Roan too. Obviously, I got to go Pat Stay. And then I got to go Bender. Rest in peace to him too. There's a lot, man. There's just a lot of people I'm into. Like I was even into a dude named 100 Bullets, but he disappeared. I don't know. But at the end of the day, man, most of these battlers, we still have lives. We have women, we have girls, we have kids. Mm-hmm. We have car notes and shit that we gotta pay. So we gotta go wherever that money is, right?
For sure.
So.
Why do you think it is that King of the Dot has persisted for over 10 years and leagues like Grind Time have faded away?
I just think that for something to be successful, people got to get along. And you got to keep your circle as small as you possibly can. And that's fucking it. You know what I mean? When you start relying on too much different people and you keep changing your editor or you keep changing whoever's holding the camera, keep changing your photography crews and all that shit around, it's eventually going to fall out. Like you have to always keep solid people around you. Secure those venues, keep solid security because that's definitely needed at battle rap events. And don't let people overdrink and shit, man. Cut them off. Kick them out. Do whatever you got to do.
And
some of the top battles in the world have been kicked out of events.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's, I don't need to get into intricate details, but it's just
Of
like
course.
shit happens, man. People get kicked out all the time.
People get crazy.
Yeah, so
It's a high energy environment too, right? And it's a competitive environment, so makes sense.
Yep.
What do you think is the difference between King of the Dot and URL?
I think that a lot of URL battlers have come in and battled in King of the Dot too, right? But the difference is, I think there's not really much differences. But when King of the Dot happens and it's just all Canada, which now is a rarity, right? Because it's all mixed up. We got UK, New York, LA, shit like that. So it's all mixed up because Don't Flop shut down too. So we still bring in Don't Flop rappers and all of that. So I don't think there's much of a difference. I just think that with King of the Dot battles, you get way more of a variety. It's not gonna just be like, I got a gun so big or like shit like that. It's not just gonna be that type of rapping, like the I'll shoot you shit. You get a lot more of a variety and when you're dealing with King of the Dot, because it's, listen, man, a lot of these dudes from Canada, there is not a lot of shit going on in Canada, man. You know what I mean? So they put a lot more effort into their bars, I think.
Mm-hmm. So what is your current opinion on the state of hip hop music?
I think it's fucked up.
Elaborate for us.
The state of hip hop is messed up because, like, for one, if anyone wants to become a rapper or get into hip hop, become an artist, the first thing that people need to tell you is you need money.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if you have all this. You could be friggin', like, you could have mad skills. Don't get me wrong. You could be able to do any type of flow you want in the world. You can, shoot videos, do this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, when it all comes down to it, you're gonna need money. It's sad, but it's true, because no one's gonna just be like, here's $100,000 to start your career properly. Shit don't happen. You got to get that money yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So for people that just rap, like a lot of people right now are just rapping and collecting CERB in Canada, all the power to them, but you can't live off the government and think like this rap shit's gonna work for you. It doesn't work like that. So yeah, my only advice for that is just know what you're getting yourself into if you decide to rap and shit.
I feel like anything creative that people do these days, it requires investing in yourself. And I can just imagine when it comes to music, there's a lot that you need, equipment and, I don't even know what else, but yeah, you gotta invest in yourself.
For one, you have to get your songs recorded, right? Mm-hmm. So that costs money too.
Right.
Unless you developed relationships with people over the years, this, that, and the third, and you do shit for them, they do shit for you, they happen to have a studio, that's different. Doesn't always work like that for people, right?
Of course.
And at the end of the day, artists got to know, if you don't want to pay somebody for studio time, then don't fucking ask them to record you. Just buy your own shit and record yourself.
And then again, you're still investing in yourself either way.
Yeah, even on a low level, that's still going to cost you probably like maybe $600. I'm not sure, but something like that. Who knows? Probably less, but it depends on what you're really trying to do. Like, are you trying to make like a song that sounds like Timbaland made the beat and shit like that? Then you're gonna need more shit than that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, who are your favorite local rappers from your area?
That's a good question. It's a really good question. Well, my area, there's a lot of fucking rappers, right?
Okay.
But I still gotta go to people that are. I'll tell you people that are around me and people that are not around me that I think are actually really dope.
Okay.
And friggin' Zays, he's around me. I think Zays is really dope. I think Empty Clips, he kind of stopped rapping now, has the next kid on the way, this, that, and the third, but he's still one of the better rappers that I know. Brooks McCoy, of course, now I think he goes by Sonny Hendrix on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, he just changed his name, right?
Did a name change, and I told him not to, But I mean, that's between him and his fans, man. You know what I mean? We have different fans, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, those dudes stand out to me. Other dudes that kind of popped up in the last year or two into my radar is dudes like Lazeppo. I think he's pretty dope. Ninth Uno, he's good too. They're all doing shit under Shiloh. Makes the beats and shit, records them, this, that, and the third. But yeah, there's a lot of people, and people that I don't really associate with too tough. Young Stitch has to get mentioned.
He's amazing. Him and Zays, I love them both. Yeah.
Young Stitch is good, man. He's good. Like he's won some friggin' battles in his time, this, that, and the third. And he used to be in King of the Dot too. That's where I first saw him. Then he started to do his little Central Soldiers thing in his music, and I think Young Stitch is really good, man. I told him, stop doing songs with whack artists, man. Get your money, but yeah, I think Young Stitch is really good.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's where I first saw Stitch as well on King of the Dot. So a lot of people have made their names there.
Very cool.
Starting out.
Yeah, Young Stitch is good, man. Like and his clique. He has some other people that are around him that are good too, like B1 and like his Lunchroom Poet stuff. Like those guys, I think Lunchroom Poets, as an overall group, they don't have anybody in the group that's terrible, and that's fucking amazing. It's hard to find that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, if I had to bring in an example, I'd say like fucking a group like D12 from Detroit and shit, but they had Bizarre in the group, and I never knew what the fuck Bizarre was doing, right? But people liked him. He just had a way different style than anything, right? So yeah, for the dude Young Stitch and the Lunchroom Poets are doing mixtapes, albums, shit like that, shows. I think those dudes are fucking good.
Mm-hmm. We talked about that when Stitch was on, right, Kyle?
Yes, we did.
Lunchroom Poets, yeah.
Yeah, their event in December was pretty good. I had a good time at that event.
Cool.
What was that, the release party for the mixtape thing?
Yeah, I was in Whitby.
Yeah, I didn't go to that shit. I think it was because I was working late.
You missed out, man. It was a good event. I really liked it.
Yeah, but there was, 14, 13 performers probably?
Yeah, there's a lot of performers. That is true.
I like shows like that, though. As long as there's alcohol, I don't give two shits. To be honest with you, like, I like shows like that, you know?
Yeah, it was a good one. What would you say has changed the most in the Toronto hip-hop scene over the past 20 years?
There's way more people trying to rap.
True.
And most of them are shit. With that being said, I can go back to some of my early music and say I was shit. All they have to do is practice. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
If you're an artist and you don't actually practice, you're gonna get fucked up when they put you on the spot to do something. So the thing that's changed is everybody tries to rap now. You'll notice people sometimes will rap for 2 or 3 months and you'll never hear from them again. Right?
Wow.
And it shows that they were just trying to do either a clout thing or maybe they're going through something in life. Maybe the girl left them or whatever it was. They're like, fuck it, I'm gonna start making some tracks. I'm like, okay, that's cool. What you got? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
Now you can make all your own shit, right? Like the rapper can be the producer and the engineer and everything, so it's pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think since Drake and The Weeknd came out and they kind of give Toronto some respectability, a lot more people are trying to jump into rap because it's the cool thing to do now.
Or they feel that it's attainable. Like, oh, well, look at these guys. Look how they blew up. If they can do it, there's hope for us, right? Like, it seems like a more attainable goal, even though it is a huge one.
It takes money. It takes money. And on top of the money, before anything, you got to have some sort of skill. You could be like one of them fucking Lil Uzi Vert or one of them guys. With like weird, like the music to me sounds weird, but it's because I come from like East Coast boom bap, just regular shit, like Nas, Biggie, Jay-Z, like regular shit to me, right? But then you have to hear the new music, like the trap stuff and all that. And I can see why it blew up because you know you have to have younger people in your family to know shit like this. Like when I'm riding around, like if say I'm taking my nephews to the barber shop or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm doing that before COVID, of course, because you know all them shits are shut down. But anyways, if I'm doing that, I just give them my phone and I'll just be like, yeah, put on whatever. You know, hook up the Bluetooth thing and say put on whatever. And all the shit they played was like Triple X and fucking Trap, Uzi Vert, fucking Blueface, like all this fucking music that I never in my life would choose to put on.
Right.
When I hear music now, I can guess the artist, but I have to actually guess the artist, right? Like I could tell you like fucking the Baby's music, or I could tell you like, but I'm still into like Lil Wayne. I'll never mistake Lil Wayne for somebody because his voice is very distinct. With all these new artists, I don't feel like they have a distinct enough voice to be, aside from fucking goofball rapper 6ix9ine. Obviously, you can tell when it's him, but he shouldn't even be walking right now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel that the Canadian hip hop scene is more competitive with the American one now?
It depends on if you mean that in regards to money or just competition in rap or whatever, right? Because obviously there's not a lot of Canadians making great money off of hip hop. There's people that can make a living. $100,000 a year is a living if you're making that off of music, right? And that's fine.
Sure. Yeah.
But
Which is hard to do.
that is very hard to do. And on top of that, you're gonna have 2-3 cars, wife, and kids. So, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That money will run out. You need $200K a year to live comfortably. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Yeah.
And I ain't even there yet. But I'm just saying, like, you can live every day and try to save your money. That's cool. But saving your money, you have to have a strategy with it all and not miss out on certain opportunities to get things done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you want to shoot a video and someone asks you for $500, $1,000, $2,500 or whatever, as soon as you show interest, you got to have that money on deck. If you ain't got that money, then don't even bother. You know what I mean? Don't even bother asking, or don't expect to, you know, get something free or whatever the case is, right? Like people are already scraping producers, getting free beats, and that's fine, man. But you know, at the same time, what did you do to even get those free beats?
Mm-hmm.
When someone offers that producer some real money, they're gonna take the money and say, "Fuck this guy. He didn't pay me nothing for the beat." So, yeah.
So what is your newest project called, and what was the inspiration behind it?
At the end of the day, was a new project, newest, we'll say, and that came out like last September. And friggin', my inspiration behind it was, what do people say, like when they ask, when they're in trouble or whatever, and they're thinking of things, they're reflecting on life. Me, I just say, like, at the end of the day, I tried. At the end of the day, I tried. Like, I did my best.
That's awesome.
But, you know, it wasn't good enough, right? So at the end of the day is the name of that new album, and it's just that because, and you wouldn't even understand it if you look at the cover because it looks weird when you read it out, but it's just at the end of the day. And that's inspired from everything. Like, I released a lot of music in my time. Started out with Dark Days and album called Dark Days and stuff like that. But most of my music is just dark. And it sounds like I'm like hating on my bosses, but that's just how it sounds. Like music is just my alter ego, right? That's really all it is.
That's cool.
Take it for realness or whatever. But,
yeah. Amazing. Sounds very contemplative too at the end of the day. It's a very contemplative phrase. So how important is it to continuously reinvent yourself in the music industry, and how do you do that personally?
I disappear for a while and I pop back up.
All right.
Right? Like I don't really, I don't even rap that much, right? To be honest with you, but I've rapped a lot in the past. So when it comes down to me getting in the studio with, like, my next time I'll probably be in the studio with Zays or whatever, like, I'll just do it. You know what I mean? But it just comes down to I don't know. Like, everybody always tries to get down with these new trends and all that shit, right? And I get it. Last 2, 3 years, 4 years, people's pants got tighter and shit. Like, that's never gonna be me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a damn.
You're like,
You know, my
take your skinny jeans.
The skinny jean thing. Yo, bitches can wear them shits all day. I don't care. But if you're a dude and you're rocking skinny jeans, one size up, please. Let them have some sort of bagginess and hang and shit, because the shit just doesn't look right. Some of them skinny jeans on dudes, like, they're rocking it too tight, man. That's fucking weird. You know, that's some weird Metro shit. But anyway, with that being said, the only Metro I know is where I could use my air miles and get a freaking steak. But yeah, at the end of the day, like, my next album could be called Darker Days. Who knows? I always go back to previous album names and just add something to it. Like, I started out outside of the Dark Days stuff. I had Darker Days. I had Computer Chilling, volumes 1 through 7. And then I came back years later and I dropped volume 8. Like, there's a lot of different things that I've done. But like I said, I'm not really a view guy. So people are going to look at me like, wow, he's not getting that much views. But, yo, let me go to a public place with you and you can see about popularity. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird because people see me more as a public figure over, let me check this guy's music.
Ah, cool.
And I'm cool. I'm cool with that. Don't matter to me.
Right.
You know, I'm cool with that. It doesn't really matter. I just wish that shit that deserves to be listened to gets listened to. And that's all it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's all you can really do, man. How much of an artist's personality affects their career, and could you explain it a bit for us?
How much will an artist's personality?
Yeah, how does a personality affect someone's career?
Well, you can't be an asshole all the time. You can be sometimes. But I mean, what's the reason? You know, what's with all the animosity, right? Your personality is gonna matter more than your bars 9 times out of 10. People gotta like you as a person when they meet you.
Very true.
Yeah, I guess it would affect your hustle, so to speak.
Yeah, they don't even really have to like you, but I'm just saying, like, in general, especially if you're looking at like a local scene and then branching out from that, you have to be liked in your regular ass city. You can't be known as somebody that takes money for a service and doesn't render the services like some people that live around us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You can't be known as that type of person, or you have no authenticity, you have no backbone in what you're trying to do. So these guys right now in Canada that are always like, yo, we need to stick together, this, that, and the third. I get it, man. But I guarantee you, half of these cats, as soon as they get home, they're saying, nigga, 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 bitch, ho. And they're white. And I have no problem with that. I just find it weird because, like, those are supposed to be my boys, those are supposed to be my people, some of these cats. And then the A, stealing from you, or B, talking shit about you, or C, saying whatever they want to say about you, and there's going to be no repercussions because there's jail. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even if I know someone's talking about me, I'm still not going to go and harm that man. Even when I know someone blatantly stole money from me, I'm still not going to go and harm that man. Because money ain't everything, man. That's just not that important. I put it out there to hopefully get an opportunity to do something great. But sometimes people will just steal that and just keep it moving and not even care. And there's nothing you can really do about it, right?
Yeah, but it's just not worth it sometimes.
But that becomes their reputation, and yours is yours. And you're having some standards for yourself, and like you said, even if somebody does you dirty or does you wrong, you're not going to go and harm them. But again, at the end of the day, that's your reputation, and they get theirs by the nasty shit that they do. So
it's okay, because everybody's going to get theirs when their time comes.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, like, just taking it back to the fucking police brutality and all that type shit. Like, when I was young, growing up over here in Whitby, I was here early. So when I came to Whitby originally, Ajax, whatever you want to call it, there was skinheads there was racist police, and it was bad. Cops stuck me up. Double barrel shotguns, handguns, right to my face. That could have been me dead. Do you think anybody really would have cared? Probably not. Like, not in the sense of like a worldwide thing, because this would have been like in the 90s, like long time ago. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But I'm just making an example of like, you know, my life flashed before my eyes at least 3 or 4 times, and it's just because of where I live.
That's insane.
And if I was in the States, I might even be dead. So that's why I understand why people are taking the everything so serious, like, you know, with black men unarmed getting killed and all that, because that shit took over COVID, and that's pretty hard to take over.
Yeah.
Nobody's people are marching, rocking a mask. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, nobody's even talking about COVID now.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Dax, what kind of goals do you set yourself?
I just try to, when I go into another project, I always try to make sure I can make it better than the previous. And for me, it gets hard because my music's half decent, right? We'll say. I'm not going to put it above or below anyone that's coming from the same place as me or whatever, but I can say that I always try to do something different. I try to show a different side of me if I can. But, you know, after like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 albums, it does get harder and harder to keep creating these things. You almost have to think sometimes from a perspective of someone else or whatever the case is. There has to be ways to tell stories that come across like, yeah, that was ill or whatever, right? So I always try to separate myself by just, I do quality music, man. I could record at home, but I go to Stay Cool Studio and just get it done there. I'm always happy with the quality they do. We have good times. We twist one up, and that's it.
Awesome. So what does your next chapter bring? What are your plans?
What do I have planned?
Yeah.
I want to shoot videos, but I have to wait till the coast is clear. You know what I mean? I can't
Sure.
I can't get down with the, like, everybody's like, yo, are you going to come to my birthday party? It's on June 5th. I'm like, are you fucking mad? Like, that's crazy. Yo, like, I've been invited to so much parties. Just like, yo, I don't know what's wrong with Dax. Why won't he come out? I take it serious, man, because, like, most people from the outside wouldn't understand it, but my mom lives here right now. She lives in Jamaica, but she came from Jamaica to Canada, and she's stuck here. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to go out. Girls say, hey, Dax, give me a kiss. I catch COVID, come home, breathe out, cough or something, and then my mom catches COVID. I'm not trying to do that shit. So,
I hear you.
Yeah, like when I go out, when I go to these parties and events, everything's fucking all touchy-feely, man. And now, at a time like right now, I'm not fucking down with that. You know what I mean? So.
Yep, that's understandable.
Yeah.
So here's a big question. What do you want the world to know about DaxFlow?
I want the world to know that I'm not a fucking dangerous man.
Okay.
I get, like, you know how they say people judge books by a book by the cover or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
People judge me as soon as I walk through the door. Even if it's like a show, they're just like, oh, this guy can't even rap. Like, oh my God. They don't understand. It's not what you look like, it's what you've put into what you do, right?
Definitely.
It's like fucking, it's like back in the day, I don't even know a singer to bring up, but like there's been some singers that looked not what they were expected to look like, but they sold multi-platinum, you know what I mean? Things of that nature. So I just want the world to know that I've been putting on music for a very long time. It's music that you probably want to hear if you haven't taken the time to listen to me. DaxFlow on any friggin' streaming platform, YouTube or whatever the case is. A couple music videos out there, this, that, and the third. And I'm someone you should probably listen to, especially if you're from New York even. Like if you like boom bap, like 1990s type hip hop, early 2000s, non-trap hip hop, then I'm someone that you probably would want to listen to.
That's amazing.
Right on, man. So wrapping up here, where can people find your music online?
DaxFlow.com, DaxFlow.com, Spotify, Tidal, YouTube. I even got a SoundCloud. Twitter is DaxFlow. Instagram is DaxFlow KOTD. Facebook is Daxter Morgan. And I'm kind of just everywhere in a sense of I'm easy to find. Literally, just type in DaxFlow anywhere and you're going to see something pop up. It could just be that I look like a zombie or something like that, or somebody dissing me, but you know what? At least it's something.
Well, to our listeners out there, check him out, guys. If you're from New York, where I'm from, check him out because we all love that rap from back in the 90s and early 2000s, you know? So I encourage everybody to check him out. You know where to find him. Thank you so much for being on the show today. And Kyle, thank you too for co-hosting. And this was a great experience. And thank you so much for your insight because there's so many artists out there who are new and struggling, and just the insight that somebody can bring that has so much experience, it means a lot. So thank you so much.
Get your money up. Get your money up. That's all I can say.
Yep. There's your message, guys. Thank you both and take care.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good night.
You too.
Yep.
Later, guys.
Peace.
DBA, Diggy, wait for the deal. It's hard times. Singing and people know I'm tired of all the lies. Tired of all the dimes that's never finding a way. Making limited.
Thank you for listening to this episode of A Billion Realities with your host, Jessica Gerlach. Visit us online at abillionrealities.com and follow us on social media at A Billion Realities. A Billion Realities is available on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify, Alexa, Reach.tv, or your favorite podcast service. A Billion Realities is a proud member of the HC Universal Network family of podcasts. For more great episodes and content, visit hcuniversalnetwork.com today. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And until next time, remember, we are all but one of a billion realities.